Countdown to the World Day of Prayer. Taiwan. Religions.
Brothers and sisters, I wish you peace. Taiwan is a land of temples and churches. It's a place where religions, old and new, jostle, combine, divide, and emerge. Popular devotion is seen in temples, small and large, some like a modest shopfront, others huge and ornate, great colourful cathedrals. There are pilgrimages that involve hundreds of thousands, and many homes have family altars where red lamps and incense mark the veneration of ancestors. Formally, perhaps the majority of Taiwanese would consider themselves followers in some combination of the Sanjiao, the three religions or three teachings at the root of Han Chinese culture. These are Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism. Buddhism appeared around 2,000 years ago in China and came to Taiwan around 400 years ago, brought by Han settlers at the time when Taiwan was under Dutch colonial pressure. Since then, Taiwan has developed and hosted many different streams of Buddhist life, from Tibetan monasticism to Zen to contemporary humanistic Buddhism and powerful mass movements of philanthropy. Taoism is a religion that originated in China and arrived in Taiwan around the 17th century with immigrants from Fujian. In Taoism, there are many deities or gods which are worshipped. Most deities are historical figures who, through their dramatic stories and tales of their lives, have become divinized. And Confucianism. Well, Confucianism is not really a religion, but more a type of teaching or philosophy. There are no gods to be worshipped, but virtue and hierarchy and the ordering of society, how to live a virtuous and self-disciplined life. These are Confucianism's concerns. The boundaries between these three streams of teaching and practice, or religion if you like, are for many people, perhaps most, quite blurred. The starting point is different, and so it's easy for them to be held in tension or in combination. There are new native religions of the region, usually syncretistic like Iguandao, combining East Asian traditions with Christian-like salvation teaching. So ancestors and spirits and fate and fortune-telling and ghost money all blend with the aspects of these formal three teachings in a fascinating and vibrant ecosystem of folk religious practice. And what of Christianity? Well, the numbers are not large in Taiwan, somewhere between 4 and 6% divided between Catholics and Protestants. But smaller proportions, smaller numbers do not in Taiwan indicate insignificance. Catholicism and Presbyterian Protestantism in particular have been forces on the island of Taiwan since the middle 1800s. The Presbyterian Church was the institutional bearer of discourses of localization, human rights, and democratic practice through long years of martial law that ended in the late 1980s. Having become an independent and self-governing church during the Japanese time, during the Kuomintang martial law period, the Presbyterian Church was the largest and most significant civil society organization that could not be either co-opted or crushed for a number of different reasons. And theological developments in Taiwan during the 1960s and 70s. These were among those that changed the face and nature of Christianity, ecumenical Protestant Christianity at least, throughout the world. Decolonization, rapid social change, economic development, dislocation, colonial cultural pressure, and then decolonization processes led Christian leaders in Taiwan towards theologies that emphasized that Christian faiths must address the issues of the societies in which believers are rooted. Theologies that take economic conditions seriously and that take culture seriously too. The pioneer of this thinking, or at least the most famous one, was Shoki-ko, Huang Zhanghui, the one who developed and popularized the language of contextualizing theology. The recognition that faith must address circumstance in a time of change, that faith must do business with culture, not just in the high places of philosophical discourse, but in everyday life and in concrete political and social situations. These ideas are to a very large extent formed and addressed, and then through the World Council of Churches spread by the insights of Taiwanese theologians, not least Shoki-ko. Taiwan then is a religious powerhouse, a riot of colorful devotion and popular commitment, a place of fermenting ideas and creative spirituality at every level of discourse. And as the place that in large measure gave us the language of context, that brought about this contextual paradigm shift in our faith, Taiwan is for Christians all over the world the most important theological factory that you have heard little of, the most important theological center of which we know little. In the ways that we live and struggle now, some aspects of our contemporary faith are, whether we know it or not, whether we have named it or not, made in Taiwan.
Religion unites us. Religion divides us. Does it matter? Religion binds society. Good religion calls out the best in us, or it intends to. In Taiwan, many are Buddhists, Muslim, Jews, many are Christians. There are also older indigenous religions. All call forth a celebration of life in the other. That touches our common humanity and reaches across all conflict. Lord, open our hearts to understanding and compassion. Speak to us of love. Carry us through the darkness. Fire us with hope. And let us grow in trust of each other and in your love for us. Help us to feed that spirit of life, and may we bring light into our lives and into our own society to promote peace and harmony between all peoples. Amen.
Lord.